And what's going on, family? Let us know how you guys are feeling inside of the chat. Talk to us. Give us some energy. Give us some effort. Give us some energy. Give us some effort. Let us know how y'all doing. Come on now.
Day 6. Day 6.
Hey, somebody do me a favor. Put over deliver in the chat because this is day 6. Y'all look. Y'all know y'all look. I ain't gonna even lie. Y'all look. Y'all know how we know. Y'all was full on day 1. Okay. Am I right? Am I right? Was day 1 was good enough? Y'all was like, hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you gave us all of this for only $47? Somebody put only in the chat. Somebody put only in the chat. All right, this is big day 6, man. We got a super good class set up for you guys today. We brought in somebody very, very special. And this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Darius, just don't give them too much, but just kind of let them know, like, what can they expect from this class?
Y'all gonna get a whole lot of sauce. Every speaker we brought in this week, y'all can agree has been good. This one's gonna be gooder. Y'all know my favorite word is gooder, good as. So we got Miss Joy today. She gonna be showing y'all how to properly structure y'all businesses and really business compliance. See, a lot of us, what we're doing is we're making money fast, but sometimes what can happen is sometimes there isn't such thing as too much speed, right? When you're moving at the speed of lightning, but you don't set up your foundation. So what we talked about on day 1 was foundation, right? And it's going to be so important. And she has a lot of sauce that I've even learned from a lot of her, just her content. So she's going to be over delivering on y'all today and loving on y'all, showing y'all how to set up properly and how to really grow a business to be able to keep your money. Because last thing you want to do is make a lot of money to God, give it away because you ain't set things up right.
I know that's right. That's right. And look, and real quick before I introduce Joy, I let her go ahead and take over. I need everybody. I need all my cousins in the chat. I need y'all to drop family in the chat and put "Hey Joy" so that way she feels welcome. And once you do that, I need you to go inside of the Telegram. What we have right now, we got almost 1,200 people are in there, but it's only 400 of y'all roughly on the call. I need y'all to go inside of this chat and say, "Cousins, come get in the room. We live." Cousins, come get in the room. We live for day 6. Drop the link to the call so that way they can come get in the room. I know some of them might be in church, but that's cool. It's okay. We're going to let them serve the Lord. It's okay. We get it, okay? But without further ado, I want to introduce to you guys somebody super special to me. This is my business sister. She calls me her business brother. When we first met, we met about, I can't remember how long ago it was, maybe about a year or so ago. We met in New York, and we both got invited to come speak at an event. And the minute that we actually got connected, it was like it was meant to be. We just started talking like we were family. We were sharing intimate information. Before I know it, we was connected at the hip. So this is somebody that I got a lot of love and a lot of respect for. She does business the right way, which is obviously the only way. She does it with integrity. And she has a beautiful story to tell. She is the best business attorney that I know. And so if you guys want to know how to put together your business the right way, how to structure the things and how to do the right things but not do the wrong things, then this call is going to be for you. So without further ado, the stage is yours, Joy Hunts.
Thank you. So how is everyone doing this fabulous Sunday? If you feel like you have been loving this challenge thus far, I want you to write in the chat, "I am ready for my win." I am ready for my win, okay? Because the game is to be sold, not told. And I know that Dion and Darius have given you way too much game. And that is so hard to get these days, okay? Because everyone wants to be a gatekeeper. So you are in the right room at the right time. And so once you guys get the bag, I'm going to teach you how we're going to protect the bag. So I like to use real life scenarios. So if you guys want to put in the chat what kind of businesses you have, I will try to use some of those as my examples as I'm going through how we're going to properly structure and run our business. Okay, so we have a trucking company. Lord, y'all going fast. We got real estate. Okay, we have consulting. We have, Lord, y'all, come on, business owners. We got a food truck. I like all these diverse businesses. And we got Airbnb. Okay. So I'm going to hop right into it. But before I get into my presentation, we got to put our money hats on, okay? We got to put our CEO hats on. I do not know what God told you you were going to have. You're going to be a 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure business. Only he told you what the vision is. So as I'm going through this class today, we got to have our CEO hats on. I don't care what the bank account says. I don't care if you just started 5 seconds ago. Multi-million and multi-billion dollar businesses are built in apartment rooms, at your mama's house. They are built in your car. It is not how you start, it's how you finish. So I need you to type in the chat, I am a CEO of a blank figure business, and you fill in what that blank is. You a 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, because as I'm giving you the game, we got to have our money hats on, our CEO hats on, as to how we're going to properly structure and run this business. So let me share my screen. Okay, someone give me a 1 if y'all can see my screen that says advanced business structure, so I can make sure, because I'll be running my mouth and no one will see anything. I can't even see the chat. Do y'all see it? Okay, bam, let's go. Okay, so let's go. Advanced business structure. So, hi, I am Joy. I'm your business bestie. Some of y'all may have seen me on Instagram jigging, but I am really a brick and mortar girl, okay? I have been a business attorney since 2004 and a full-time serial entrepreneur since 2006. And these are going to be some of my brick and mortar businesses that I have started and grown to 6 and 7 figures, okay? So Auntie's a little old. It is grimy out here in these business streets. Eat or get eaten, killed or be killed. So we can't come out here playing. We can't come out here shoo-shooing. We have to come out here protected, okay? I didn't know. Did no one tell me? I thought I could. Those are not going to be any kind of excuses that we can use to get out of trouble. So before you just hop in business, we have to make sure that we're coming in protected, because one bad move, we can lose our home, our house, the money in the bank, the full 9, okay? The top reason why businesses fail are going to be 20% of small businesses fail within that first year, 80% of Black-owned businesses fail within the first 12 to 18 months, and 50% of small businesses don't make it past 5 years. The most common reasons are going to be lack or mismanagement of capital, inadequate planning, ineffective marketing, or no market or need for the product and or service. So we're going to first start with our business structure. So this cup is you. You may have a house, you may have a car, you may have money in the bank. When you're thinking about doing business, we're not forming our LLC because it's making all this money. We're not forming our LLC because it's this big business. We're forming our LLC in the beginning to separate us from the business. So we have a trucking company on this call. If I were just to start Joyce Trucking, I'm going to say, you know what? Let me first wait until I make some money from my LLC. I'm going to do Joyce Trucking. I'm doing business as a sole proprietor or as a DBA, which stands for Don't Be Asked Out. I'm out here doing business, exposing my house, my car, the money in the bank. I have a driver. He was tired. He fell asleep behind the wheel. He ran a red light, killed someone. Now I have a $3 million judgment. I only had $1 million insurance policy. Joy is on the hook for $2 million. So what's going to happen? They're going to come knock on my door. They're now going to take my house, my car, the money in the bank, and any of my assets to go fulfill that judgment, to go pay off that judgment. We don't want that, okay? So the second you're thinking about starting a business, I think I'm a do. We are forming our LLC to separate us and our assets from the business. Therefore, same scenario, Joyce Trucking, my driver fell asleep, killed someone, $3 million judgment. I only had $1 million policy. I'm on the hook for $2 million. I'll lose whatever cash my business has, but my assets are protected. My house is still good. I have a place to stay. I'm not losing everything Because in business, you are going to take a loss. In business, something will happen. In business, your employee will make a mistake. It is what it is. So we're forming our LLC in the beginning to separate us from the business, okay? So I don't care if the business hasn't made $1. We are forming our LLC. Now, the different types of business entities is going to be a sole proprietor. That's one person out here out of order, about to lose all their stuff. A partnership is two people out of order, about to lose all their stuff. So you can really be an LLC or a corporation. My preference is an LLC. It's simple to form and simple to maintain. But you can be an LLC or a corporation. They both give you the same asset protection benefits. Besides getting asset protection, your LLC or corporation is going to make you, number one, look credible. So if you're talking to investors, hey, okay, I'm going to invest in you. What business entity do I write the check in? Ooh, well, see, I haven't formed my LLC yet. Now we looking bootleg, right? Now we looking like, oh, well, never mind. Number 3, when you form your LLC or corporation, it reserves your business name in the state that you're in. So if I want no one else to use Joyce Trucking, when I form my LLC in Florida, no one can use Joyce Trucking in Florida. If I want no one to use Joyce Trucking, period, then I would file a trademark. That will protect my name in the US of A. And the fourth reason why we want to form our LLC is that your LLC is now another person. So it can establish business credit or apply for grants. So your business can walk into the bank and get a line of credit, can walk into the bank and get a loan, can walk into the bank and get vehicle financing. So now we are doubling our borrowing power. Some quick business structure basics is number 1, the most important address on your LLC is going to be the address for the registered agent. The agent is going to be the person that's responsible for receiving mail on behalf of the business. So you can be your agent, your friend can be your agent, you can hire a company to be your agent. But if you already have your LLC, every single year you want to check the address to make sure it's a good address. If the state is trying to contact you, if you haven't filed a report, they're going to make your LLC inactive. They're mailing you information and you don't get it. And if they're mailing it to that address, it's like you are deemed to have received it. If someone is suing you, okay, the lawsuit is coming to this address. So if it's an old address, if you move from the address, if you hire an agent and you stop paying them and they're no longer your agent, if you don't get that lawsuit, you can lose the lawsuit by simply not receiving it. But I do good business, ain't no one gonna sue me. That's not true. In my very first screen, what did I say? It's grimy out here in these business streets. You are going to find people that don't have character, okay? I have a client who teaches people how to start and grow beauty supplies. She had a student take her course, pay $10,000, got all the information. At the end of the course, when she was done, the student ran out of money and couldn't have enough money to actually get the actual storefront to start the beauty supply. So what did the student do? Well, since I can't start the business, I want a refund. Girl, you done got the entire class, the vendors, or something. There are no refunds. But she filed a lawsuit. Now, my client had an old address and never received the lawsuit. So because she didn't receive the lawsuit, she couldn't respond to the lawsuit. In most states, you only have 30 days to respond to a lawsuit. And if you don't, you're going to lose what's called default judgment. So she lost a $10,000 lawsuit, not because she did anything wrong, because she did not know. So everyone who already has an LLC or a corporation, you want to make sure that you check that registered agent address. Number 2, you got to have an operating agreement. This is going to be the contract for your LLC. It governs how your LLC is ran. If you don't have one, you're going to have to use your state's default rules, and those may not be in your benefit, okay? So you want to make sure you have an operating agreement. I have one on my website if you need one. Third, you want to make sure you have a business bank account. A business bank account, but a business bank account that reflects the true income of the business. Now, I know no one in this class is going to be like this, but there are some people out here in the world taking Cash App, There are some people out here in the world taking cash for their business and putting it underneath their mattress, putting it in a safe, not putting it in the business bank account. And I know no one on here is doing that, right? The number one reason why small businesses don't get funding is because they cannot prove that the business is making the income. They're making it. I'm Joy's Lashes. I'm doing lashes all day. I'm making money all day, but I make the money, and then on my way home, I go to Walmart and I spend the money and buy groceries. I make the money, but on the way home, I went to Sephora and I bought some lipstick. So the money never hit my business bank account. So then when I go to the bank to get financing, I want to get a vehicle in my business name, they're going to pull the last 9 days of my business bank account. Baby, ain't nothing up in there. But see, I got my Cash App, and now we looking bootleg. Now we looking bootleg. So either we're going to be a business and we're going to run it like Walmart, or you're going to be out here looking like Side Hustle Sasha. Side Hustle Sasha don't get no benefits. Okay, if you run it like a business, then all the business benefits, all the tax deductions, all the funding plays you can do. Okay, so we're going to have a business bank account. All the money is going to go in the business bank account. We're going to have a POS system, a point of sale system. Everyone's going to have an invoice. All of the cash hits the business bank account. Now, if you need it, we're going to just transfer it to your personal account, but it has to hit the business bank account, okay? Next, we're not going to commingle personal and business expenses. So just because the money's in your account, I'm not paying my home mortgage with the money. That's called commingling. I'm not going to the club, turning up. That's called commingling. I'm not getting my hair done. That's called commingling. So only business expenses come out the business account, and only personal expenses come out the personal account. If you need it, you're going to transfer it over, but we have to run it like it's Walmart. Is the CEO of Walmart taking the Walmart card and getting his hair cut? No, so neither should you. Can I go to Walmart and cash app the register? No, so no should you. Can I go to Walmart and my bill's 110? I say, girl, I ain't got 100. Can you take 100? No, so no should you. So we got to run everything like it's Walmart. Now, we have to file what's called an annual report. Every state is going to require your LLC to file some kind of report and or pay a fee to keep the LLC active. Okay, if you don't file this report, they're going to make your LLC inactive, like you don't have an LLC. So if you don't know if you're active, you're inactive, what the report is, you want to contact your Secretary of State, and they can direct you as to what the report is, when it's due, and how to file it and pay your fee. Now, certain industries are going to have certain types of licenses, insurance, and permits, okay? We have a trucking company on here. We have a food truck company on here. Both of those industries require some kind of license and permit. Now, if we don't have those licenses, if we don't have those permits, if we don't have the correct insurance amount, that means that we're underinsured, then we are going to lose that asset protection, and we don't want that, okay? So whatever is the industry requirement, don't ask your friend, don't ask your girlfriend, your boyfriend, hey, Keisha, what? You go to whoever is the organization that regulates that industry. What are they saying are the insurance requirements? So if trucking, you got to have $1 million policy. Well, I'm gonna do $500,000. No. We're gonna do the full $1 million. If not, we're gonna lose everything that we have. Okay, so we got to have the right license, insurance, and permits. So a recap. Our 4-pack for our business structure is going to be an LLC or corporation, EIN, operating agreement, business bank account. LLC or corporation, EIN, operating agreement, business bank account. And we're going to have this for every single business that we have. Okay? Now, how do we protect our assets? So forming your LLC is the first part. Okay? I form my LLC. That's the first part. Now I have to run it like it's Walmart. Running it like it's Walmart means this. All the things I said that you have to follow. If not, you're going to lose your LLC, and now your personal assets are going to be exposed. So, number one, if I don't file my LLC annual report, they're going to make my LLC inactive, which means they're going to disregard my LLC, and I don't have one. So if I form my LLC, I had Joyce Trucking, but I didn't file my report, it's inactive. Now my driver has a crash. They're not suing Joy's LLC. They're now suing Joy because Joy don't have an LLC. But I formed it. You did, but baby, it's inactive. So now I'm coming after your house, your car, the money in your bank account. Okay? I was commingling my personal and business funds. So yes, I formed my LLC, but when I get hit with that lawsuit, they're going to pull my last 9 days of bank statements. Were you running it like it's Walmart? I see the hookah bar. I see Sephora, baby. You everywhere. They're about to negate that LLC, and now they're coming after your house, your car, the money in the bank. Your industry requires $1 million insurance policy, but you were trying to cut corners. You had a $500,000 policy. You formed the LLC, but you wasn't running like it's Walmart. So now they coming after your house, your car, the money in the bank. So for that reason, we have to first form our LLC. Now we have to run it like it's Walmart. Yes? No, thank you. Okay, so let me get back to my screen. So forming our LLC is the first part. Running it like it's Walmart is what's going to protect our assets. And if we don't run it like it's Walmart, we're going to lose it all. Okay? Now, who's over this BOI report? Who is tired of the BOI report? I mean, is it on? Is it not on? I always say, baby, this BOI report has more ups and downs than my marriage had, okay? So, as of February 1st, 2025, there is no BOI requirement, okay? As of February 1st of 2025, there is no BOI requirement. As of now, the Supreme Court has said it is unconstitutional. It is on appeal. Okay, it is on appeal, so it may come back to that it's now due. So I'm just telling people, if you don't want to have no issues, just go on ahead and do yours and be done with it. You ain't got to worry about it, but you do not have to file it as of now, but that may change in the future. Okay, but as of now, y'all good. Now, some of y'all, God may have told you that you're going to have multiple businesses, right? He said, you're going to have multiple businesses. So how do we structure our business if we have multiple businesses? So let's say that I have we got a real estate company on here. I have Joy's Real Estate, right? Joy's Real Estate is my main company, okay? I have a couple of duplexes. It's my main source of income. It's paying all my bills. It's providing my lifestyle. It's my main thing. But then I decide we have a food truck company on here. I'm going to start Joy's Food Truck, but I'm not going to get my LLC yet. I'm going to wait until I make money on Joy's Food Truck. So then I'm going to get an LLC. So I'm just going to get a DBA, which stands for what? Don't be asked. I'm going to get a DBA, and I'm going to run the DBA out my one LLC. The number one problem that business owners have is that they get one LLC and try to run a whole enterprise out that one LLC. We are not going to do that for this reason. I'm doing Joy's Food Truck. I really can't cook. I'm not good. Let's say I'm doing Joy's Barbecue Food Truck. I accidentally left the ribs out overnight. Didn't know it. It was spoiled. I served the ribs the next day. Everyone got sick that ate them. And they filed a class action lawsuit against me. So now Joy's Barbecue is being sued. Well, Joy's Barbecue wasn't an LLC. It was a DBA. So who's really being sued is Joy's Real Estate, because Joy's Real Estate was the actual LLC. So now that I'm being sued, the the people who got sick from Joy's barbecue is going to be able to touch the money and the assets of Joy's real estate because it was all combined in one bubble. And we don't want that. So if Joy's real estate loses all of the property, all of the cash flow, how am I paying my bills? Now, I've been in business for over 20 years, okay? I have had over hundreds of employees, and I've never met one that if that check was late, they still came back to work. I could never, hey girl, can I get you next week? They gone. I haven't met, maybe y'all met them. I haven't met an employee that will work past payday and the check ain't there. So if I can't pay my employees, they about to be gone. If I can't pay my bills at home, how am I going to keep my mortgage? Now my son got to come out of AU basketball. My daughter got to come out of cheer. I got to tell that wife she got to come out of Target and actually go back and get a job. These luxury cars are being turned in. My dream house is now being gone. Now I'm cussing and fussing. Ain't no spring break. Now we're all angry. Now I'm not having sex. Now I'm in divorce court and bankruptcy court, all because I didn't want to spend $500 and form my LLC. You gonna pay now or you gonna pay later? If you pay later, you're going to pay more. You gonna pay now or you gonna pay later? If you pay later, you gonna pay more. Now, I'm not Googling any of these examples. Okay, I'm old. I've been out here in business. Everything I'm telling you is happening. Okay, so how do we prevent that? I got Joy's real estate. I'm thinking about doing Joy's food truck. I form an LLC. Now, what's our 4-pack? LLC, EIN, operating agreement, business bank account for Joy's food truck. Same scenario, if the ribs out, they got sick, blah, blah, blah. They're going to sue Joy's food truck, and I'll lose every cash Joy's food truck has, but I still got Joy's real estate. I'm still paying my bills. My wife still has that luxury car. She at Target. She at Lululemon. She out my business, right? Them kids still playing basketball. They still in private school. My life is still going on. I got a little hiccup. I can handle one hiccup, but losing everything will take you out, okay? So for every single business, every single venture you want to do needs to be its own LLC. But my banker said I didn't have to. My CPA said I could. Baby, I'm telling you what you're going to do to protect your assets, okay? If you got charged with murder, could you represent yourself? You could. Should you? No. So I'm not telling you the cheapest way to do it in the beginning. I'm telling you how you're going to save your marriage. I'm teaching you how to do your structure so that you don't have a gun to your head and take yourself out. Because in business, things are going to happen. When they happen, you don't want to lose everything. You want to minimize our loss. Okay. S-Corps. I mean, I'm so tired of hearing about S-Corps. But unless you've been underneath the rock, you've heard about S-Corp, right? An S-Corp is not going to be a business entity, meaning we can't form an S-Corp. An S-Corp is a tax election. You're going to form your business at the state level. Your options are an LLC or a corporation, also known as a C Corp. Those are your two options of forming an entity. How you're taxed is different. So an LLC has a 15.3% self-employment tax. That's not good. A C corporation has double taxation. That's not good. So the IRS says, hey, LLC, hey, C Corp, if you want a better tax structure, we'll tax you as an S Corp. So to be taxed as an S Corp, all you have to do is you're going to file a form 2553 with the IRS. Your accountant or CPA can do this for you. To be an S Corp as the owner, you have to be on payroll with payroll taxes being taken out, paid to the IRS. And then now you are going to have to file a separate tax return, a business tax return, which will run you between $750 and $2,000, depending on how complex the return is. So normally the cost of being an S Corp will overcomes the benefit of the taxes once your business gets to making about $60,000 in profit. So Once you're able to pay your bills and then make about 60 grand in profit, that's when you want to make that S Corp tax election. You're still going to be an LLC, you are still going to be a C Corp, but to the IRS, they're going to tax you as an S Corp. Now, real quick, if you form your LLC in a different state than you're doing business in, so if you are an online bid, I see that someone's doing consulting. If you do online consulting, so I have clients from everywhere, they're going to look at what's called your home state. So where can I go put my hands on someone that actually is at the business? Not a virtual address. Where is somewhere I can go put my hands on someone that's working the business? Where's the CEO? What kind of state license do you have? Driver's license do you have? Where are you registered to vote? So they're going to look at those factors. So if I'm in California and I vote in California and my license is in California, but I form my LLC in Wyoming, I'm still going to be a California. I'm still doing business in California. So I would need to register my Wyoming LLC as a foreign LLC in California to properly be doing business. There may be some banks in different states that you want to take advantage of. So let's just say right now in Iowa, there's a credit union that's giving away, X amount of money for small businesses, but I have a California LLC. Well, a California LLC cannot go and open a bank account in Iowa because it's not licensed to do business in Iowa. So you can register your California LLC in Iowa as a foreign LLC and then take advantage of whatever are the banks, whatever are the loans, whatever is the play in that state. So having a foreign LLC will help open you up to different banking opportunities and allows you to do business in different states than where your LLC is formed. An anonymous LLC, there are 4 states that your information is not going to be plastered or on the World Wide Web as to who owns it. Delaware, Wyoming, New Mexico, Nevada. It doesn't matter what state you form your LLC in, you're going to still have the same protection. So there is no state that has better asset protection. If you don't want your name on your LLC document, so the paperwork will look like this. The only thing is going to be your business name and who is the agent. Your information is not on here at all. If you don't want your information on there, you can form an anonymous LLC in Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada, New Mexico, but you're going to then have to register that LLC as a foreign LLC in the state that you're doing business in. So you are going to have to keep, 2 LLCs active. So here's an example. No one's information is going to be on there. That's how it's anonymous. But you're now going to have to keep 2 LLCs active. So I got to do my Wyoming LLC and my California LLC. So it is a little bit more expensive, okay? It is more paperwork. It's just going to go back to whatever it is that you want to do. There is no one size fits all with business structure, right? Let's just say me and a business partner aren't seeing eye to eye, right? We aren't seeing eye to eye. I can already tell we're about to have an issue. We may have a lawsuit and I'm now going to be starting another venture. I may not want them knowing what I'm doing, right? So that will be a reason why I will start an anonymous LLC, so that if we kind of go in the wrong direction. So if a lawsuit does occur, they're not going to be able to come and see what else I'm doing or get the assets of that business, okay? Once again, there is no one size fits all with business structure. If you want something simple, form your LLC in the state that you live in and just run your real regular business, okay? But there's more than one way to skin a cat. Now, trust. There are 2 types of trust. A trust is like an LLC or a corporation, meaning it's a business entity. I mean, it's a separate entity than you. The 2 types, it's going to be paperwork. It's going to look like this, just like how you have an LLC is just some paperwork. There is a revocable and an irrevocable trust. A revocable trust means that I can put an asset in the trust. I can put my bank account, I can put my house, I can put my car into the trust. Everyone should have a revocable living trust because it can also serve as kind of like what a will is. When I die, immediately upon my death, whoever I says gets my house, car, money in my bank, they get it immediately. If you have a will, the will has to go through probate court. That has cost, that takes up time. And sometimes assets are lost because the people can't afford to keep them up until they get the assets. So a revocable living trust is where you can kind of pass things down immediately upon your death, but it does not give you any asset protection. Now, any asset that you put in a revocable living trust, you can still touch it. So I can put my house in and then say, just kidding, and take it out. I could put my car in there and say, ooh, never mind, and take it out. I can still touch the asset. As long as you can touch the asset with the trust, there's no asset protection. Now, the bulletproof trust is the irrevocable trust. This is where once you put it in, ain't no one touching it, okay? So once I put my house in that trust, I'm not going to lose it in a lawsuit, but I also can't touch it. I can't encumber it. I can't put any debt on it. I can't move it. I can't say, just kidding, I want to get funding on it. You cannot touch the asset once you put it in an irrevocable trust. That is the downside of that trust, okay? Because in business, you got to be able to zig and zag. Something I'm gonna move something from over here. I may need to use this asset to get some kind of collateral funding. So in that irrevocable trust, it's gonna be protected, but you can't touch it. You can't. It's just stuck there. Okay. So I recommend holding companies for business owners because we always got some stuff going on. Okay. We always got some stuff going on in business. We got to zig and zag. So to get asset protection but still be able to use your asset, I recommend holding companies. A holding company is going to be an LLC or a corporation. You form it the same way. What makes it a holding company is how you use it, okay? So in a holding company, we're going to put our assets in there. So if I have Joy's Real Estate, I have 2 duplexes. I'm going to have my duplexes owned by my holding company. The holding company does no business. The holding company does not enter into any kind of contracts with the outside world. No business with the outside world, no contracts. So I'm not getting funding. I am not getting into any debt. I'm not entering into any contract. I'm doing nothing but owning the asset. I'm owning the vehicle in the holding company name. I'm owning the real estate in the holding company name. I would have a different company doing the business. So let's just say I have Joy's Trucking. I have one LLC on the trucks, another LLC to actually do the business, carry the loads, have the licenses. There will be a lease agreement between these two so that the operating LLC can use the asset. Every single month, the operating LLC is going to pay the holding company a lease fee to use the asset. So in my same scenario earlier, driver fell asleep, killed someone, lawsuit, I'll lose every cash flow I have, but I'm not going to lose my hard-earned asset, okay? My job is to show you how to minimize your loss. You're going to lose something. You want to lose the smallest amount. So you only need to have one holding company, and this applies to your business and it applies to you, okay? So once you start making money, you are a target. Once you start making money and you on the gram and you got your watch and you got your Lambo and you turned up doing all this what you call lifestyle marketing, baby, all you doing is saying, baby, come sue me. Come sue me. I got it. Come sue me. That's all you're doing, putting a big old red bow on you. I'm going to go to her business, slip and fall. Ooh, I'm going to make sure I do it. There, you are now a walking target, okay? So the goal is to have nothing in your name. So, holding company for you personally, you want to put all your assets in a holding company so that you don't own anything. So let's just say you driving down the street, it's raining, you hydroplane, you run around, you kill someone, they got a $3 million judgment against you, you only had $1 million policy, they gonna come sue you. They gonna be excited. Ooh, girl, I saw on the Instagram page, she got this, she got that, but ain't nothing in your name. They gonna be mad because I ain't got nothing in my name. Now, for a holding company, because it's not doing any business, it's not transacting anything with the outside world, just you, I always recommend that you do own your holding company in an anonymous state. I prefer Wyoming. You can get an LLC like within 24 hours. And that way, when they do come snooping, no one knows who owns the entity. So therefore, no one knows who owns the assets. Okay, so that is a great way to kind of keep people out of your business as to what it is that you own. Okay, the second you own things, you can now lose things. Same with real estate. For those who are into real estate, you never want to operate with an LLC that owns assets. So if I have Joy's Real Estate, I own 2 duplexes. I don't want to enter into the lease agreement in the same entity that owns the assets. Let's just say my tenant slips and falls and breaks their neck. They're going to sue me. When they sue me, they now can take my duplexes. I don't want that. So I'll have a holding company own the actual real estate. I'll have a separate LLC that's entering into the contract with the tenant, signing the lease, collecting the lease payment. So the tenant only knows my operating LLC. Think of your holding company as a secret. No one knows about it but you. Okay? No one knows about it but you. So my tenant slips and falls, breaks their neck, they're only going to get what the operating LLC has. So you may lose your cash flow, but you're not going to lose your hard-earned asset, okay? So you can have one holding company that owns your business assets and your personal assets. There'll be lease agreements between you and the holding company or your business and the holding company. That way, when something happens, the assets are protected, okay? So when something happens, the assets are protected. Now, for those who are in a high-risk industry, you may want to think about using a parent company. So a holding company owns assets. A parent company owns businesses. A holding company owns assets. A parent company owns businesses. So for those of you guys who have multiple businesses, you can either have separate LLCs. I call these bubbles. So if I have Joy's Barbecue, Joy's Lashes, Joy's Real Estate, my holding company, I can own it like that. Or I can have one LLC own all of the baby LLCs. Okay? Once again, there is no one size fits all. Either option works. Okay? Having a parent subsidiary format is a little bit more complex, okay? But some people want things complex. So you can have either or. So if you have a parent company and subsidiaries, you want to make sure that we're following the corporate formalities on all the baby LLCs, meaning we have an active LLC, we're filing our LLC report, we're not commingling our personal and business expenses. We're not just swiping that card for personal things, that we have the right licenses, insurance, and permits, because if I get hit with a lawsuit in my subsidiary, in my baby company, and I'm not following the corporate formalities, then they're going to what's called pierce the corporate veil, and they're coming up to the mama company, okay? This is why I never have a holding company linked to any operating business. I'm always going to have my holding company separate, not tied to anything, because that's the entity that's owning the assets. Another reason why you may have a parent company is if you're trying to get funding. Now, sometimes in funding, they require that the business has to bring in X amount of money in revenue. Well, I may have 3 businesses, and on their own, they don't make enough money. But if I put them together, they do make enough money to get funding. So what I can do is I can have my parent company own my baby LLCs. Whatever is the profit at the end of the month, I can run that up to my parent company via a management fee. So let's just say the requirement is I got to make $10,000 a month in my business, but each LLC only makes $4,000 a month. So on its own, they don't qualify. But if I bring 4 from LLC number 1, 4 from LLC number 2, 4 from LLC number 3, now I make $12,000. Now I do qualify for funding. So I would set my parent company up. I would do all the, Google. I would make everything digital footprint, proper structure, the whole nine. My parent company, get the income from the baby LLCs and go and get funding from my parent company. Some people don't want to run payroll on all three companies. So if that's the case, same scenario, I would run all the profits up to my parent company, and then as the owner, just take my payroll from one company. Some of you guys may be in a high risk industry. Okay, so we have a real estate company, that's high risk. We have trucking, that's high risk. Once you're in a high risk industry, if that high risk industry is in your business name, or if you have an NAICS code that is high risk industry, ain't no changing, because whenever you amend something, you have to bring in the original with the amendment. So if I took Dion's class and found out, I shouldn't have Joy's Credit Repair in my name, and I go amend my name, well, when I bring my original with the amendment to the bank, they gonna see, oh baby, you used to be Joy's Credit Repair, so no. So one way to mask your high risk industry, don't amend the name, amend the owner. So you want to form a general parent company, J&J Solutions, J&J Enterprises, J&J Group, a generic name. When you get your EIN number, that's when you're choosing your NAICS code. You want to make sure it's either consulting, management, e-commerce, something general. Whatever are the proceeds from the high risk industry, we're going to run that to the parent company via a management fee, and now we're going to get funding from the parent company. So when we walk into the bank, I'm J&J Solutions, I'm a consulting company. My website, my email, everything is for J&J Consulting. I have income coming in consistently every single month. I'm a low risk industry. Now I'm able to get maximum funding, although the income's coming from credit repair, although the income's coming from transportation, although the income's coming from construction, okay? So there is more than one way to skin a cat. There is more than one way to get something done, but you want to make sure that everything is done correctly. So it's not just forming the LLC. You got to have the LLC. You got to have your bank accounts. You got to have you got to have all these things in order. And when they're in order, you are able to get all the benefits that we have with banking, with funding, with asset protection. Okay. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Give me a bank in the comments if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. If y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. Once again, since your parent company is not doing any business, then your parent company can be formed in Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada, New Mexico, if you want to keep it anonymous. Okay. Once again, I'm not owning any assets in this diagram. My holding company is not linked to any of this. This is a more complex structure. This structure does need to be formed by an attorney. Okay, so a LegalZoom, an ink file. They're not going to know how to do all this. This needs to be done correctly by an attorney, and be mindful that if we don't follow the rules, we don't run LLC 1 or LLC 2 or LLC 3 like Walmart, then it's coming up here to get whatever the parent company has. So this is more complex. We have to follow everything, but this is just another option. I want to make sure that everyone understands what they have to do to be able to benefit from what's out there. Now, when you are starting your business, you may have to self-fund it. You may have to use your own money to buy equipment, to cover payroll, to start the business. You don't want to pay a tax on money that you're just moving from one account to the other account. Okay, so whenever you are self-funding your business, whenever you are running, taking money from one account, putting it in the other account, then you want to make sure that you are jotting that down on either a capital contribution form or an LLC loan agreement. A capital contribution agreement or an LLC loan agreement. So let's just say that Joy's food truck, I'm just starting it. So I take $10,000 from my personal account and I put it into Joy's food truck to go and get my logo, form my LLC, buy some equipment, and get the business started. Let's say throughout the year, Joy's food truck made $90,000. but the total amount that hit the account was $100,000. You don't want to pay a tax on the full 100 because 10 of it, you just came from one account to the other account. So if you want to put that 10 into your business, you don't want the money back, you want to just use it as an investment, you're going to write that 10 down on a capital contribution agreement. If you want to put that 10 in, but you want to say, well, when I start making some money, I want the business to pay me back, you want to put that 10 on your LLC loan agreement. Either or, you're going to give those documents to your CPA or to your account at the end of the year, and they will know, okay, there's $100,000 in this account, but 10 grand was on this capital contribution agreement, so it's not income. So I'm only going to assess the income on the tax on the $90,000, not the full $100,000. Okay, so a capital contribution agreement or an LLC loan agreement, I have those on my website, my LLC kit. But once you have a business, we are past H&R Block. We are past Jackson Hewitt. We are past Keisha's Tax Service. Okay, you have to be either in an accountant's office or a CPA's office because there are different tax benefits. There are different tax strategies. There are different tax mechanisms that those kinds of tax preparation companies don't know. Okay, so it's going to be more money, but once again, you're going to pay now or you're going to pay later. If you pay later, you're going to pay more. So for example, for anyone who is starting their business in year one, sometimes in year one or year two, most of your money is going in the business and we're not really seeing a profit, right? We're just investing, we're this, we're that, we're just trying to get this bad boy going. We got robbing from Peter and Paul or Peter, Paul, and Mary to pay Jonas, right? But some people may not report that business. Well, I didn't make no money, so I ain't got to report it. Well, you don't have to report it, but reporting that loss may benefit you. There is a rule that you can carry a loss forward for 5 years. So if I'm starting Joy's Airbnb, we got an Airbnb on this class tonight. If I'm doing Joy's Airbnb and I put 50 grand in, didn't make no money, I got my space, I got my inventory, I got everything I need for $50,000. I had a $50,000 loss, but I didn't file it because I didn't make no income. So H&R Block said, or Keisha Tax Service said, girl, you ain't gonna file that. You ain't gonna file that. If I file that loss, I can carry that loss over for 5 years. So this year I took a loss, but next year I made money. If I made money, let's say I got a $40,000 tax bill, I can offset that tax bill from the previous year's loss. So now I do owe taxes, but that loss carries it out. And now I still have $10,000 towards the next year for whatever is on my income tax that I owe. So there is a reason why I'm saying, I'm not just trying to hate on Keisha's Tax Service, on H&R Block. I'm not being mean. You need to be with a CPA or an accountant because if you don't, you're going to lose. You're going to pay more. You're not going to get everything that's due you because everyone doesn't know how to do business tax. It's different. For those that are making money, you should be at your CPA accountant's office, not just to file your taxes, but for tax planning. Okay? If you are collecting checks, if you are printing money, if your business is rolling, right? What are you going to do with the profit? So when you do tax planning, you want to let your CPA or your accountant know, hey, this is where I'm at. They may tell you, hey, you're about to cut a check for $60,000. Okay. You have the option. You can take that 60 grand and just write it to the IRS. Or if you buy some inventory before December 31st, if you go and buy some equipment before December 31st, if you go buy you a car before December 31st, then you can use that 60 grand and put it in your business. But we got to get this 60 grand out of the business. Either you can invest it, buy inventory, equipment, things you need, or go ahead and write to the IRS. But if you don't do tax planning, then at the end of the year, it's too late. It's too late. There's no more time to do any kind of strategic planning. You're going to just be losing money by writing it to the IRS. So these are the reasons why it's so important to be able to, have a CPA, have an accountant, get your taxes done correctly, know what you're doing, get all the benefits, and be able to plan. So, is my time out, DM, for I just keep on going? Because I'm going to keep running my mouth. So let me know where I'm at.
Hey, look, I mean, you good in my book, but it's up to the people because, I know some people talking about church and all that. So let us know in the chat, like, so she keep going, what y'all want to do?
Okay, keep going? Okay, so let's go.
Keep going.
Let's go. So, contracts. Now, before y'all just hop in here in business, you want to make sure we have certain contracts. So the first contract you want to have is going to be what's called a copyright transfer agreement. This contract is going to have you own all of your content. So just because you hire someone to do your logo, do your graphics, take your photos, be your videographer, copyright rule is whoever creates the content owns the content. So although you paid your videographer, they still own that video. Although you paid your graphic designer, they still own that logo. I don't know if y'all recall Cameron back in the day, from my OGs on the class tonight. Cameron the rapper had a really popular picture of him in this like pink furry coat. Okay. About a year ago, Cameron decided, hey, I'm going to start printing t-shirts of that picture of me and start selling it. And the photographer was like, no, you not. That's my picture. And Cameron said, it's of me. I can do what I want to do. And Cameron had to go cut a check to that photographer for $50,000 because no, you can't do what you want to do. It's not your picture. Okay. So you want to make sure before you get big, before your business pops, that you own all of your content. So whoever is designing your logo, if you have someone creating content in your business, that you have someone doing your photos, if you have a shooter running around town with a videoing you, they need to be signing a copyright transfer agreement so that you own that content. There's a case out of Georgia for Sweetwater Brewery. It's a brewery company that started 30 years ago, and they hired a family friend and paid them $500 to create their logo. 30 years later, Sweetwater Brewery sold for $300 million. What do you think that family friend did? What they always do. They sued them for $30 million saying, that's my logo. That logo has goodwill. So before you even get going, you want to make sure that you own all of your content, because as you work your business, you're going to hit. You're going to start being profitable. You're going to start making money. And in the beginning, you're going to think, I'm making money, yay. But, like Puffy said, more money, more problems. It's going to be more problems the more money you make and more people coming after you. So you want to make sure that you own everything. The next contract you want to make sure you have is going to be an NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement. Any employee that you have in your business that knows any information about you, okay? They know your systems, your procedures, your vendors, how you do things. Think about this. Any information that you don't want your biggest hater or your biggest competitor to know, that's what needs to be in a non-disclosure agreement. Pepsi had to sue and put in jail an employee because an employee of Pepsi was trying to sell their formula to Coca-Cola, right? So you want to make sure that anyone in your business that knows where you're buying your goods, your client list, your vendor list, that they don't just go and take that and sell it to your competition, or take that and start competing themselves with you. Another thing where you want an NDA is for business partnerships. So let's just say I have a great idea and I'm coming to you as an investor. The person with the money never needs the person with the idea after they get the idea. The person with the money never needs the person with the idea after they get the idea. So before you go and talk to someone about, hey, I got this great business opportunity. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Hold up. You want to have an NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement. There is, for those of y'all who recall Kimojis, Kim Kardashian about 7 years ago had something called Kimojis, where she had her face on all of the emojis. Kim didn't think about that. A guy came up with that idea, got a meeting with Kim, pitched it to her, and she said, thank you, great idea. She went and trademarked the name, did the business, cut him out, and made millions. Now he's filed bankruptcy and is homeless trying to fight this case, but he didn't have a non-disclosure agreement. So he has nothing saying that, hey, I'm bringing you this idea. If you don't do it with me, you can't do the idea. Now, before y'all say, oh, she's shady, I don't like Kim Kardashian, how's she gonna do that? My first screen said what? It is grimy out here in these business streets. Eat or get eaten, kill, be killed. It's grimy, okay? It's grimy. It is what it is. It is up to you to protect yourself, okay? So that's why it's so important to be able to have these contracts